We can.
Hand me my brownie.
What's up, YouTube? First take, no edits. We're just gonna sit here and eat cake and talk about a movie we liked.
We are Milk and Holy Water.
I'm Milk.
I'm Holy Water from the Holy Land of Iceland. Cheers.
I'm Milk from
the Holy Udders of Cow. Today we are going to give our real review of our favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
Obsession.
Obsession, Part 1.
We have a lot of thoughts. Yeah. I want to go right in. I want to dive right in. I've seen it all over the internet. You know what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
Cat theory. Would you like to explain?
No, please. That's all you.
So, you may have seen as you're scrolling through the reviews of this movie, there is a big theory going around, the cat theory, that in fact, Nikki is not just a possessed person, but it was the dead spirit of the dead cat, Sandy, who had recently passed away. Her spirit was fresh in the air. The cat had passed less than 24 hours before Bear made the wish, and she takes on a lot of cat-like behaviors, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
She has the glowing eyes in the dark hallway. She can attack
ferociously
and silently. You don't see her coming. She also, what does she do when she's upset that Bear leaves for work? Pees and vomits, a lot like a cat does. And I immediately thought that the food looked like cat food.
It was cat food.
What do you think?
Was that verified? Was it verified cat food?
I didn't see it online. What do you think? Put it in the comments.
It was cat food. It was for sure cat food. Why do you think she wrote "not me" when she fed Bear the cat? What did that mean? Explain it to me.
So, let's talk about that. So, a lot of people, now we know, the audience knows that there's kind of two Nickies at the same time. There's real Nikki, and then there's possessed Nikki. So, when she fed him the cat sandwich, and she wrote "not me" on the picture, personally, I could take it two ways. Either she's telling him, this is not me, I've been taken over by this wish. Or maybe she was saying, I meant to feed you this cat. It's not me, and I hate you, and I'm gonna feed you this cat sandwich.
Yeah, get your cat out of me.
As revenge. So it could go one of two ways, in my opinion. What do you think?
I don't believe in the cat theory at all. I think it's totally just
a theory.
Yeah, it's a theory.
An idea.
It's an idea. My cat's screaming right now.
Do you want a cat sandwich?
No, thanks. I'll have some tofu, though. So, we've seen this movie twice now. Why don't we start from the beginning? What were your thoughts the first time we saw this movie? Because I know your thoughts because I was sitting next to you.
So, as you may have seen on our other YouTube videos, our shorts, we were completely shaken by this the very first viewing.
You were shaking in your booties.
I was shaking in my booties. I was shaking in my panties. I was shaking everything that can shake, actually. I was a changed human. Actually, I wanted a break from life.
We almost broke up.
I thought, why does anyone date anybody? This is awful. This is a horrible idea. Yeah.
What'd you know about the movie going into it?
I knew that it was about toxic love.
Did we watch the trailer before we went?
Yeah, I think so. I knew it was about a girl that becomes obsessed.
That's really all there is to know. I'm very familiar with Curry Barker. I watched all the stuff leading up to it. I just knew it was getting good reviews. I don't remember seeing the trailer or not, but my first initial thought of the movie was, this is way too many previews. What's it with previews in movie theaters? Okay, besides that, movie starts. I was hooked. Right from the first scene, I was invested. I was very curious to see what was going on. And then when stuff started getting spooky, I was very invested. I guess the first time I saw it, I guess I saw it from the point of view of Bear, and I was kind of internalizing, and I was thinking, what would I do in this situation the whole time? And right away I was thinking, why hasn't he called the police yet? Which leads me to question one: why didn't he call the police yet?
That was something I wrote down as well. Let's dive into that topic. Why did he not call the cops? First of all, that's the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, if he were to call the cops, at what point should he have? It's a two-part question.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, the question really deals with, at what point would you have done Nikki? That's like what's the straw that breaks the camel's back? For me, it's when she fed me cat. I'm walking out that day.
You're calling the cops?
No, I'm not calling the cops. But if you feed me cat, I'm not calling the cops.
If someone fed me cat, I'm calling the cops.
You're calling the cops if someone feeds you cat?
That's gotta break like 15 laws, don't you think?
Well, the cat's dead already.
I still think you're not allowed to do it.
It's a very specific law to feed someone cat after
If
the
someone
dead.
knows the law, can you please drop it in the comments?
I don't think there's a law about getting
It's like
fed cat.
messing with a corpse.
Well,
It's like a felony.
Desecration. That's
Isn't that something else?
in the comments. Let us know what you can do to a corpse and it not be illegal. It's okay, but anyway, the reason I was saying, because we saw this movie twice. The reason I was saying the first time I saw the movie, I took the perspective of Bear, and then you go home, and we spoke about it. We spoke about this movie for 2 days straight, by the way. 3 straight days. We did not stop talking about it. We analyzed every scene inside and out, and we only now decided to make a video about it. But after discussing it and kind of realizing that the reason Bear didn't call the cops because he loved it. He loved the attention, and he was laying in the bed that he made with by keeping it going with Nikki. So the second time we saw it, that made a lot more sense. What didn't make sense to me was why the ER nurse wouldn't accept Nikki. Can we talk about that? That's
Let's
question
talk about
two.
that. So, okay, hold on. Before we get to the ER nurse, I think that let's wrap up our first thought about the cops, and then let's move on to the next question. Why doesn't he call the cops? I don't think there's a real good answer, except for just it's a movie. However, the nurse part, you did bring up a really great point about how he tried to get help from the nurse. She turned him away, and maybe that was them showing he tried to get help and then felt like no one was going to help him. Maybe he felt like he couldn't call the cops because it was something as goofy as a wish. And what can you call the cops about a wish? How can you explain, I made a wish, I think I possessed the girl, the wish came true. I mean, who's going to believe that?
Well, you should definitely call the police after someone smashes another person's head with a brick.
Yes.
Or smashes the brick with your head.
That, 100%.
You should definitely call the police if someone does that in your vicinity. That's what I guess that was the point I was most shocked that he hadn't called the police yet. You know when you sometimes see something in movies and it's like something shocking happens, but then it's like, oh, it was just a daydream, or I was just imagining it, the thought bubble or something. I was totally convinced that was going to happen. That it was like, oh, he was going to wake up, or he was going to go, oh, what if Nikki comes? So when that was real, I felt sick. I actually thought I was going to throw up.
We both were physically shaking. That was the point Mike put his hand out, and his hand was going like this. And if you could have seen my reaction live, I was frozen like this for, I think, a good 5 minutes before I realized that I hadn't moved. It was intense.
That's the key word of this movie. Intense. Yes.
So, back to your nurse question.
Yes.
I have some strong opinions about that. First of all, here in America, every doctor, every establishment, they want you for your money. No one's ever going to turn you away for anything. So that's the first very unrealistic part.
Yeah, they're just like, no, we can't take her. No, get out of here. No. Right. She rolled her eyes like, she's just drunk. Get out of here.
Right.
I could go to the ER if I'm drunk.
Right. And also, she showed up to the ER with a very concerned, frantic boyfriend with a bloody, gashed up face and was acting erratically. These are all 3 very good reasons why someone should have taken her in.
Why did the ER nurse take her in? What was that about? And
It wasn't as though when we're watching the film, it's not as though Nikki was refusing service. It's not like she was not walking in the door. She was just prancing around in the middle of the parking lot.
Literally.
Yes.
She was acting drunk, actually.
And if someone is that drunk, maybe they do need to be seen by a medical professional.
Yeah.
I would like to hear your thoughts. I also would like to pose another question. At what point do we think that Bear knows that this is real? And also, is he a bad guy for not wanting to end the wish once he knows it's real, but just simply wanting to alter it?
Yeah.
Because by altering the wish, he's still aware that he has still done something to her, without her consent.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. People keep saying that, he's, I'm no Bear apologist, but if I may be devil's advocate a little bit here, everyone's talking about how Bear is the worst person ever, and he's a total coward, which he is. But how many times have you made a wish on something before? Well, let's say you're applying for a job, and it was a great job. And then you say, damn, I really hope I get that job. And then if you get that job, well, you're not supposed to take that job? Because you wished that you got that job?
According to this logic.
Because, yeah, so what? He made a wish, and then she likes him. I mean, it's not that your first assumption is that there's supernatural activity going on and she's captured.
Mm-hmm.
So when over time she gets more and more crazy and sinister, was he supposed to just leave her on the side of a mountain and walk away? That's the honorable thing to do at that point? What's he supposed to do?
That's a great question. What is he supposed to do?
What's the guy supposed to do?
I'll give him credit. He went back to the magic store. He did find another wish thing.
And he tried to break it.
He tried to call to ask what to do.
Yes.
Could we say he's honorable for doing that? But he didn't want to cancel the wish. They said, do you want to cancel it? He said, no, I would like to alter my wish.
Yeah, but is it possible that... obviously that's the point of it. Obviously that's the point of it. That's the scene that proves he's a bad person, right? Mm-hmm. That he doesn't want it to end. He likes the attention, and he wants to hold her on, no matter what it takes. Mm-hmm. He's kidnapping at that point. Really, that's the biggest thing is kidnapping. Mm-hmm. But is there any chance he was just being can you help me out here? How's he being? He's being like
a turkey?
He's being a turkey.
We had turkey for dinner.
The guy says on the phone, do you want to cancel it? And he's being like, no, the wish is good. It's great. Just alter it a little bit. Is it just possible he's just embarrassed and trying to alter his request?
He's like an ego problem?
Yeah. Ego problem? I don't know if ego problem is the right way of saying it. He's just trying to soften what he's asking.
Mm-hmm. He wants it to be a little... He wants all the benefit and none of the consequence.
Sure.
What a man. Just kidding. I made a wish.
Please tell me your wish.
It was you.
Oh, thanks, babe.
I have another part I would like to talk about. I would like to suggest an edit, and I know I've talked to you about this, but to the film, I personally think it would really make the audience really mad at Bear. And it would really villainize him. And it would be, as we all know, there's the intimate scene. And
the grape scene.
Yes. And her voice is interested, but her face and her demeanor is not at all. And actually a tear comes out of her eye because she does not want to be there. It's showing real Nikki with possessed Nikki, obsessed Nikki.
Did you see a tear? I didn't see a tear. Was there a tear?
There was a tear. And so that happens earlier in the movie. And then later on, is when we know for sure he knows that the wish is real, and he continues on with it. I personally think it would have been more impactful if after they came home from that bro night, and she smashed her face and she said, you have to come to bed with me, and all this, if that was when the scene took place at that point. Because at that point, we would know that he's fully aware, because he was just talking to Nikki, saying, is Nikki in there? Is Nikki happy?
Yeah, that'd be totally unforgivable, though. Well, I mean, it's already unforgivable.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be too dark. That's the same night that he went to the car with Sarah, though.
Yes.
That's the same night.
Yes. So do you think that would be... because it would be too harsh? That's why they didn't do it in that sequence?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Yes.
Can we talk about time frame of this movie? How
Yes.
long does this time frame take? Can we talk about that?
Yes, we've talked about this a little bit. So it seems to me, because in the beginning of the movie she says she's put in her 2 weeks. And so you can see throughout the course of the movie, like, she's working in the beginning, and then all of a sudden then she's not. And it's not long after that all of this really escalates. So in my mind, I'm thinking this is like a 1 month time frame.
1 month? Oh, I don't think it's that long at all.
Oh.
Like, go through the days, like...
Okay, so she says 2 weeks on let's say day 1. On day 1, the movie starts, she said, I put my 2 weeks in today.
Yeah, but I'm not convinced that it's 2 weeks have elapsed yet. When he goes and the duct tape is on the door, he's just saying, enjoy your day off.
Mm-hmm. He did say day off. I do remember that. But, like, it just seems like at some point, like, then we still haven't seen her going day after day after day anymore. And then, he, when he is eating the cat sandwich, she's not there that day. I don't know. My answer is 1 month.
So, he makes the wish. That's night 1. She sleeps over. The next day they go to work. He comes home. She comes over. So that's day 2. Then that's when they do the cheesy montage.
And the montage makes it seem like time's elapsed.
Well, the second time we saw the movie, I think the montage was all one day. They're watching a movie at night and they wake up and have breakfast. That was basically the whole montage.
So when you watched it the first time, though, it seemed like the montage made it seem like months had passed.
Yes, it did.
But on the second watch, you think that was all in one day?
Yeah, I think it was 1 day.
Ooh, this is a great idea here. I would love to know what the people think. Drop this in the comments.
Was it 1 month or 1 month
day.
and 1 day? I think that after, so the montage happens and then, all right, what happened after the montage? Is that when he ate the cat and the door's locked? No, it was the dinner date scene. Here's my idea. So, this is what I'm wondering. He makes the wish. She's infatuated with him. She stays over, which is unexpected for even herself. But here's the fascinating thing. The next day she leaves. She leaves and she goes home in Cooper's car. What's Cooper's name?
Yes.
Ian. She goes home in Ian's car. She's like, he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't give you a ride home today. She says, no, I'm not. I'm just getting my book bag. I'm going to go home with Ian.
Yes. Great point.
That was not Freaky Nikki yet. She's like still learning how obsessed she is.
Mm-hmm.
She even went home with a different guy. Later, Nikki wouldn't have done that. It's like she was building up towards it. So here's my idea. So this is what I'm thinking. When they went to dinner, and that's when he gets the phone call that says that her dad's actually not in the hospital, and he confronts her with it. I think that's what set Freaky Nikki off.
Oh.
I think that she was so convinced, because of the montage and them having a nice dinner, Freaky Nikki in her paranoid mind was convinced that she's succeeding in her plan of loving him more than anything.
Oh.
And as soon as there was a crack that formed, that's what set her into super crazy, sinister mode. And so it ramped up from there.
I love that idea. That's brilliant.
I didn't write it. I just noticed it.
That's great. I never thought about it like that. I think that was a really good point. Also, I want to say about, you talked about the dad. We hear later on in the movie that, when Bear's questioned about the dad, and they said, well, I thought she was even close to her dad and didn't even care. And he says, oh no, they are now. They are now. So the thing is he's spent pretty much every single waking moment with her for
a month or a day.
2 weeks, 1 day, 1 month, we don't know. He never noticed any phone calls, correspondence, texts, anything.
Oh, he didn't care.
Yeah.
That wasn't in his obsession, really.
Mm-hmm. So who was more obsessed?
Who was more obsessed? That's really the question.
That is the question. Because he was obsessed with her being obsessed with him. He wanted it. Just a little less.
A little modified.
Mm-hmm. So okay, I do have one thing that I want to get to, and this is my last point. Will there be a sequel? And what would it be about? I have my opinion.
What's your opinion?
My opinion is there can definitely be a sequel. And what I think it would be about is it would be two parts. One, the fallout about what happened. Nikki dealing with all of the legal repercussions of all the murders and trying to prove her innocence, etc. But I also think it's going to be about all these other wishes that are out there that happened in the town.
Mm.
The director we know did say that $1 billion stayed.
Yeah.
So how do we prove that? It doesn't just appear out of thin air. And we know because when he returned to the magic store, half of those wishes were gone. Which means people in this town have bought these wishes and have used them. What did they do? That's the sequel.
We'll be watching when it comes out.
And we'll be making a review.
Is there anything you didn't like about the movie? Was there anything you changed?
Yes. There is. I've told this to you. I think the ending happened too quickly. I think that everything in the movie was really brilliantly spaced out. It built really naturally. It felt good. It felt right the whole way. The relationship building, everything was really great. And then the last 5 minutes came down like a ton of bricks. And I know that they were building up to this. I know there was, the anticipation, and you were getting excited. You knew something big was coming, and it was getting more gory, and she was becoming more obsessed, and it was all getting to that point. But it was like it's like they got too excited. It's like they had this big grand ending that they wanted to show the audience, and they just got so excited that they wanted to cram it into 5 minutes. Between the time he came in the door, he saw the shrine, he saw Sarah's corpse, he opened the wish, she shot Ian in the head, he was in the bathroom, he almost shot himself in the head, he took a bunch of pills, she made a wish, he came out, all these things happened in 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. And it just felt like a lot to digest. I think it could have been spaced out better.
Yeah, give those moments a chance to breathe a little bit. It was very paced very fast.
Yes.
It was rough.
And it was almost too much. That was what I would change.
Yeah, nausea-inducing.
Mm-hmm. I also don't know if I would have... I don't know if I like the ending. I don't know if I would have rather him stayed alive.
Oh, that'd be creepy. Them just living on their crazy existence, and then they'd have to start a masquerade of murder to get away from the cops. And
yes.
Oh, but they love each other.
Yes.
So
much. It could be a new Harley Quinn and
Joker.
Yes.
So much.
Yes. But I've battled with that. I don't know. Maybe it would have been better if he stayed alive.
Yeah, that would have been that. Yeah. Also, I don't think heroin overdoses or oxycodone overdoses happen that quick. He takes pills and then he's dead 10 minutes later.
Not even a minute.
I mean,
2 minutes.
Yeah, a minute, really.
And it's not like he chewed them. He swallowed them, so there's no way.
How do you chew a handful of pills like that?
I do.
You...
I mean...
Do you?
I don't take I don't take any pills. I just Tylenol. I can't swallow Tylenol. I chew it.
You can't swallow it all. What did you see Curry Barker talk about? So he was talking about how the ending of the last shot, how it flipped upside down, and you saw the dead bodies, and it came up to the TV. The opening was supposed to be the
Yes.
exact reverse. So it was supposed to be
Yes,
a
a
rhyme.
mirror image.
A
Yeah.
mirror image. So the movie was supposed to start with the frame shuffling down, and you see the cat, and it's supposed to start off the movie, kick off the movie.
Right, like he said, bookends. I think is how he referred to it.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
to start the finish. I was thinking about that. I actually kind of really like that idea. It does seem kind of, I mean, film student-y. It kind of
Do you
seems
think
like,
it's a little too cliche though to start and end the same way?
yeah, it's like film student.
Right.
It's like kind of cliche film
Yes.
student-y, kind of shallow.
Yes.
But I do like that. It's like the story itself is turning on its head.
Mm-hmm.
You're entering this bizarro Twilight Zone world.
Mm-hmm. He said that was really hard for him to give up.
I can see why. How do you like the beginning where it started?
Mm-hmm. I think it was really important. I think I'm glad we saw it twice, and I say that because of the beginning. I think that when you're watching it the first time, you're going in blind, so you don't know why you're seeing what you're seeing. But when we saw it a second time and we had the perspective that we did, I was really paying attention to the beginning because I really liked paying more attention to Ian's role in the movie. That's when you can really tell that Ian, as we learn, is a side piece. He's a situationship.
Yeah.
And this is his best friend. And he has been wrongly directing him the whole time. He knows that his best friend is interested in Nikki as a relationship. And, Bear is trusting his friend to give him good advice. And he's purposefully steering him wrong.
Yes.
Telling him, call her Freaky Nikki.
Yeah.
So really, Ian is really a piece of crap friend. And also doesn't care about Nikki either, because he wants to cause harm to both of them for his own self-interest, just to make sure if he doesn't want to have her as a girlfriend, but he also doesn't want anyone else to have her. And it's not fair to either of them. But I think that really gives a good insight as to the dynamic of the friendship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had thought that was Sarah the first time we watched it, and it's very clearly some
It's a
random
random.
waitress
Mm-hmm.
the second time we saw it. Because I was wondering about that, if it was Sarah the first time, but that would make sense why it wasn't.
Yes.
The woman in the opening scene I'm talking about, that he's admitting his feelings for.
Can you tell me that you hear me in every song you hear? That's nice.
Okay, so that was actually going to be my question. If Bear would have been honest and said exactly what he said in the opening,
would any of this happen?
well, would it have garnered a response? Would it have been? Was it as cringy as Ian said it was?
So I'm a girl.
That's why I ask you.
I loved it.
You loved it?
I loved it.
Did
It
you?
was perfect.
Oh.
I got a little butterfly.
Did you?
It was
You liked
beautiful.
It was heartfelt.
Oh yeah.
I would never have said anything like that. That was cringy, man. No, you don't say stuff like that.
It was really great.
Oh.
I would have loved it if I was her.
I could see my dad call me a wussy. But I mean, that's a good point on like male perspective. I definitely related a lot to Bear in that opening scene. I felt like I was back in high school trying to tell a girl you like her, and like you have every opportunity to, and everything you're misinterpreting, and you hear her say "babe," and it's like it doesn't matter that she says that to other people. She said that to me. And it hits you deep in the bones.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, she likes me, but does she? And you're questioning. And I really related to that. That was really well done. That reminded me of being back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was really impressed with that.
Everything about this movie just was great.
It was okay. Well, everything about the movie was great. There were certain things I didn't like. For example, let me bring this up. So Ian wishes for $1 billion, and $1 billion comes crashing down on him. In the very next scene, there's a voiceover of him knocking on the door saying, "Dude, I got $1 billion." What was that about? I've been thinking about that the last couple days, and I was wondering. That kind of sounds like that was, that shouldn't have been there. It would make more sense if, imagine this, Bear goes to Ian's house, gives him the one wish willow, says, "You got to make a wish, you got to say this," and walks out. Cut to next scene. dude, I got $1 billion. That would
Yeah.
be, it would be a revelation to the audience that that's what the
What
wish
his wish
was.
was.
But you still
That's
need,
a great idea.
yeah, you still need Ian to be in that scene so he can get shot. Which is leads me to my next question. Why did Ian need to die? Why was Nikki trying to kill Ian? Because when Bear goes to Ian's house, Ian says, dude, I've been getting texts from Sarah,
who we know is dead,
who we know is dead. So it's clearly Nikki texting Ian to go to Bear's house.
to kill him.
Why is Nikki wanting to kill Ian?
I wanted to talk about that, and you got right to it right before I brought that up. So I think that I agree. There's really no reason for Ian to be dead. Other than, as we know, Nikki is becoming more obsessed, and Ian did just invite Bear to a boys' night
The night before.
that she was not invited to. And she found out other girls like Sarah were. And so maybe she knows that Ian is a wedge, and Ian doesn't approve of the relationship, and Ian is trying to fill Bear's head with, hey man, she's pretty toxic for you, you know, kind of ideas. And maybe that's why. Maybe that's enough. Maybe she's so obsessed that that's enough to be killed.
Well, then why that?
Why would it
that
come
morning?
from? But here's another thing. Why that morning? But why did it have to come from Sarah's phone?
Yeah, it could have came from
It
Nikki's
could have
phone.
come from Nikki's phone.
Yeah, why'd she have to use Sarah's phone to say to come to Bear's house? Well, no.
I agree. It doesn't quite make sense. We don't really know enough details. Yeah. And so remind me how that went. So he came to the house. He said, "Make a wish." He said $1 billion. Bear just leaves.
Well, the money's
And
coming crashing down on him, which was a great acting scene, by the way.
Yes,
Loved
it was. His facial expression was so good.
Oh, that was perfect. He conveyed so many thoughts
Just with his eyes.
just with his eyes.
Yes.
The thoughts were, I told you this was real, you didn't listen to me, and you ruined me.
Yes.
That was great. Love that a lot.
So and then Ian just stays. He just stays because he's just getting a lot of money on his head. Is that so? He walks.
Yeah.
So he walks in the door and he says, "Hey man, I just got $1 billion," and I don't know. It's a little confusing.
It's a little confusing. He just says, hey, dude, I got $1 billion. But Bear was already there. Bear saw that $1
And he
million.
knew that.
come
But
down.
also, not only that, but Bear said, "Do not come over."
Yeah, right. He was very clear. Do not.
And not only that, you would think that Ian would listen, because at this point he knows, one, it's really important to Bear that I make this wish, and I didn't do what he said, and I know it's real, and now I know how serious it is, so he's probably really mad at me. Two, I just got $1 billion and he didn't, and he ran off angry.
Yeah, he would have ran off angry.
Three, he came in the door proud, happy,
Yeah.
flaunting he has $1 billion.
That made no sense.
When he just left that situation with Bear, knowing Bear was ready to kill him,
Yeah.
and said, "Do not come over," and he did anyway.
That needed to be tightened up.
That could have definitely, you know what? There are some loose ends, definitely.
I
Doesn't
think that's
quite
the
make
only.
sense.
I think that's the only loose end, really. That kind of
Yeah.
made no sense to me.
Yeah. What did you think about the end? Did you agree with what I said about the end?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was so sick at that point. The first time we saw it, really. From the moment that Sarah died to the end, I was sick. I couldn't think straight. So the second time we saw it, it definitely could have been tighter. It could have let those moments breathe a little bit, I think.
You're in every song I hear.
I love
You're
you
the
so
wish-
much.
You're the wish I made.
Stay!
Why don't you love me? Cheers.
Love it.
Close.